Hey, so I'm from BC, and other than weed and the Vancouver riots, the thing we're probably best known for is how much nature we have. Around here, it's trees and mountains as far as the eye can see, and we generally make other provinces a little bit jealous with the expansive beauty that we've got. Unfortunately, this comes at the cost of having a really vicious wildfire season. Back in 2017, I was living in Burnaby, which is part of Greater Vancouver. One day, I left work at like 3 in the afternoon, and the whole city was covered in smoke. The fires that were burning up north and in the east were blowing smoke absolutely everywhere. And they made the problem pretty real, even for the typically aloof GVRD residents. Even Toronto, which is on the other side of the continent almost, was getting some of our smoke. It was a big deal. 2017 was a record-breaking year for us, with over 3 million acres of land burning. Like, I can't even visualize how much that is. Then, just a year later, California broke its own records with 1.8 million acres burning there. Then, in 2019, Brazil lost 2.2 million acres of the Amazon when people were starting fires in order to create more land for farms. And now it's 2020. And Australia has the world's attention. As of January, 15 million acres have burned in the bushfires, with 10 million in New South Wales alone. New South Wales is where Sydney is on the lower side. 15 million acres is more than twice as much as all these other fires combined. What's going on? Just like all wildfires, these have started for a variety of reasons. Lightning strikes, campfires, there have been bullets, train breaks. The difference here is that Australia has two big problems right now. It's really hot and it's really dry. Near the end of 2019, in like November and December, the temperature was averaging 42 degrees Celsius. And on December 18th, it hit 49.9 in South Australia. These are the hottest average and hottest single days ever recorded in a country that is famously really hot. Not to mention rainfall has been steadily declining for the last couple years too, and they faced a major drought in 2019. That leaves plants dry and vulnerable to burning, and then you don't get any help from nature to put out the fires that have started either. All in all, this has taken a huge toll on Australia. There are about 20 people dead right now, and it's not the most that have died in a bushfire season, but it's horrible and seems completely preventable. On top of that, nearly 500 million animals have died. 500 million! That's 500 million! You can't comprehend that number, you just can't. Australia's two most famous things are wildlife and Steve Irwin, and so basically just wildlife. Even though koalas are dumb, they sure are cute, and they sure deserve to live if they evolved naturally. Their populations have been decimated. In some areas in New South Wales, they're completely extinct there. Try thinking about it this way. An area twice the size of Belgium has burned, and an area 100 times that has been filled with smoke. New Zealand, which is close but still hundreds of kilometers away, is getting blanketed in Australian smoke, just like Toronto got blanketed in our smoke. Look at these images. This is what hell is supposed to look like. So what can be done? I wish I had a solution that went beyond the usual solutions to climate change, but I just don't. All we can do is put out the fires that have already been started and try to pursue green energy, but that's a worldwide problem right now. Not to mention, it's pretty hard to put out fires when all of your firefighters are volunteers. Australia's firefighters aren't getting paid. Look at this video.
How are you?
I'm only shaking your hand if you give more funding to our RFS. So many people here have lost their homes.
We need some vet.
We need more help.
It's one thing when you're a volunteer firefighter in town and fires are rare, but these guys have been fighting these fires for months, and they've had to take time away from their jobs and from their families, and they're not getting paid. 2 of them have died. At the time when those 2 firefighters died, the Prime Minister stayed on vacation. He didn't even come out and treat it like a crisis. In fact, it was his government that diverted funding away from the fire service so that these guys have to be volunteers. These guys care so much about their country that they are willing to burn to death to save it. Here in BC, we've been slammed a couple times for our environmental choices regarding pipelines and deforestation and things like that, but I couldn't imagine if we didn't mobilize everybody. It's like a national unity movement around here. I know people who were in the literal line of fire in 2017, and I don't know what would happen to them if the government hadn't stepped up and mobilized every resource they had. This is scary. What's happening in Australia and what's happening in California and what's happening in Brazil and what's happening here in BC are symptomatic of a way bigger problem. I wish I could do more. I'm sorry, Australia.